Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt a sudden pang of anxiety? You work 40 hours every week, and your paycheck is decent. Yet somehow the money seems to vanish into thin air before the month ends. It is a silent leak that most men your age choose to ignore. But deep down, you know the truth is staring back at you from your bank statement. You are not building a legacy for your family or your future. Instead, you are quietly funding the lifestyles of massive corporations through hidden fees. Every unused subscription and impulse purchase is a brick taken from your dream home. In many households, over 30% of food goes straight into the trash can. That is not just wasted produce, but it is hours of your life you can never get back. The fear of becoming a financial burden to your children is a heavy weight to carry. But there is a different path that remains hidden from the loud world of social media. This path is known as quiet wealth, and it was perfected in the heart of Japan. The Japanese did not build an economic powerhouse through luck or high-risk gambling. They rebuilt their entire world from ruins by mastering the art of the silent accumulation. They focus on the space between what they earn and what they actually keep. Today we are going to explore the ancient habits that plug these financial holes forever. This is not about living like a monk or suffering in silence. It is about taking back the steering wheel of your financial life. Let us start with the most powerful tool ever created for the human mind. It is called Kakeibo, and it has been transforming lives since 1904. You might think an app on your phone is the modern way to track your money, but technology often creates a layer of emotional distance between you and your spending. Kakeibo is the art of the household financial ledger, written entirely by hand. When you physically write down every single expense, you force your brain to pay attention. The act of moving a pen across paper creates a neurological connection that an app cannot match. You must categorize your spending into 4 distinct pillars. First, there are the survival items like your mortgage and groceries. Second, are the optional things like that streaming service you barely watch. Third is the culture pillar, where you invest in books and meaningful experiences. Finally, there is the extra category for the impulse buys that serve no long-term purpose. By using this manual system, most people save 15 to 20% almost instantly. It is because you can no longer lie to yourself about where your hard-earned money goes. Ask yourself 4 simple questions at the end of every week. How much money do I actually have right now? How much money would I like to save for my retirement? How much am I currently spending on things that do not bring me peace? And most importantly, how can I improve my habits next month? Awareness is the first and most critical step toward true financial freedom. Once you see the truth in ink, you can begin to stop the bleeding. This leads us to the second principle, which is the spirit of Mottainai. There is no direct translation for this word in the English language, but it represents a deep sense of regret over waste and respect for resources. Western culture teaches us that everything is disposable and easily replaced. If a tool breaks, we throw it away and buy a newer version immediately. But every time you discard something prematurely, you are discarding your own labor. Mottainai reminds us that every resource has an inherent value and a spirit of its own. Think about the $1,500 the average household loses to waste every year. That money could have been the foundation of your emergency fund. Instead, it sits in a landfill because of a temporary lapse in judgment. To practice Mottainai, you must learn to buy quality items and use them completely. A high-quality shirt that lasts 10 years is far cheaper than 5 cheap shirts that fall apart. Maintenance is always more profitable than replacement over a long period of time. Before you make any purchase, ask yourself if you will truly use it until it is exhausted. If the answer is no, then you are simply stealing from your future self. The third pillar of this system is the philosophy of Kaizen. In America, we are obsessed with the idea of the overnight success story. We want the massive promotion and the lottery win or the viral business idea. But the Japanese know that real power lies in continuous small improvements. If you improve your financial situation by just 1% every day, you will be shocked. After 1 year of this discipline, you will be 37 times better than when you started. That is the unstoppable force of compound interest applied to your daily habits. Maybe you save $5 today by making your own coffee at home. Maybe you cancel one subscription that has been sucking your account dry for months. These changes seem small and insignificant when you look at them individually, but when you sustain them, they create a wall of protection around your family. Success is not a grand event, but it is a series of tiny victories won every morning. Start so small that it is impossible for you to fail. Save one single dollar today, and then save $2 tomorrow. Let the momentum carry you toward the life you have always dreamed of having. This path of improvement is fueled by the concept of ikigai. Most men spend 40 years working jobs they secretly despise just to pay for things they do not need. They count down the minutes until Friday and dread the arrival of Monday morning. This constant stress creates a void that they try to fill with retail therapy. When you hate your work, you spend more money just to cope with the misery of it. But ikigai is the intersection of what you love and what you are good at. It is about finding work that serves the world and provides a fair income. When you find your purpose, you no longer need expensive vacations to escape your life. Fulfillment is the most effective cost-cutting measure in existence. A man with a mission is rarely tempted by the shallow promises of consumerism. Look at your current career and find the small pieces that align with your soul. If those pieces are missing, start building a side project that brings you joy. The goal is to move toward a life where work feels like a natural expression of who you are. As you build this purposeful life, you must embrace the concept of wabi-sabi. Our society is addicted to a false image of perfection that exists only on screens. We feel pressure to have the perfect house and the newest car and the latest gadgets. We spend a fortune trying to fix things that are not actually broken. Wabi-sabi teaches us to find beauty in imperfection and the passage of time. That scratch on your dining table is a memory of a family dinner from years ago. Your older car is a reliable friend that has carried you safely through thousands of miles. When you stop chasing an impossible standard of perfection, the financial pressure vanishes. You realize that what you have right now is actually more than enough. Contentment is the ultimate wealth, and it costs absolutely nothing to achieve. Stop upgrading your life to impress people who are not even paying attention. Focus instead on the quality of your relationships and the strength of your character. This leads us to the practical rule of hara hachi bu. Originally, this was a rule for eating until you are only 80% full. It is the secret to the legendary longevity of the people in Okinawa. But this 80% rule should be applied to your entire financial structure. The gap between 80% and 100% is where your freedom lives. If you earn $5,000, you must learn to live comfortably on $4,000. The remaining $1,000 is your ticket out of the rat race. Most people spend 110% of what they earn using debt to fill the gap. They are eating until they are stuffed and then wondering why they feel so sick. By stopping at 80%, you create an automatic wealth-building machine. You never feel deprived because 80% is still plenty for a good life. But that small surplus compounds over decades into a mountain of security. The discipline to maintain this gap requires the spirit of gammon. Gammon is the ability to endure difficult situations with patience and dignity. It is the silent strength that allowed Japan to rebuild after the greatest tragedies. In our world of instant gratification, gamen is a rare and valuable superpower. It is the power to say no to a purchase today so you can say yes to your freedom tomorrow. When you feel the urge to buy something you do not need, practice gamen for 30 days. Sit with the desire and watch it fade away as the weeks pass by. You will find that 90% of your wants are just temporary emotional sparks. True character is built in the moments when you choose your future over your current impulse. Endurance is not about suffering, but it is about staying true to your highest values. This endurance is rewarded through the art of kintsugi. Kintsugi is the practice of repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. Instead of hiding the cracks, the repair makes the object more beautiful than it was before. This is a profound metaphor for your financial and personal history. Your past mistakes and debts are not something to be ashamed of. They are the cracks in your story that can be filled with the gold of wisdom. Every time you pay off a debt or fix a bad habit, you are practicing kintsugi. You are becoming a stronger and more valuable person because of your struggles. Do not throw away your future because you made mistakes in your past. Repair your life with discipline and watch it become a masterpiece of resilience. Finally, we must understand the peace of shogunai. This phrase means it cannot be helped, and it is about strategic acceptance. We waste so much energy worrying about the global economy and inflation and politics. But these are things that are completely outside of our individual control. When you stress about the world, you often spend money to soothe that anxiety. Shogunai allows you to release the weight of the world from your shoulders. Accept the things you cannot change and pour all your energy into what you can. You can control your daily spending and your savings rate and your own education. You can control how you treat your family and how you manage your time. Focus on your own small circle of influence and let the rest go. When you master your own internal world, the external world loses its power over you. This is the foundation of quiet wealth and the path to a meaningful life. It is a journey that begins with a single choice made in the quiet of your own heart. You do not need a miracle or a massive windfall to change your life today. You only need the courage to be aware and the discipline to be consistent. The rewards of this path are not loud or flashy, but they are eternal. You will find a sense of peace that no bank account balance can ever provide. You will look in the mirror and see a man who is truly in control of his destiny. And you will leave a legacy of wisdom and strength for the generations that follow you. The road to quiet wealth is open to anyone willing to walk it with humility. Start tonight by opening your ledger and looking at the truth. Choose one habit and master it before moving on to the next. If you are ready to start this journey, type the number of the habit you will begin with. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to a better future. Your quiet empire is waiting to be built one brick at a time.